Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Nick from Noobkill coming at you with another video today. So guys, welcome back to another episode of Nick's Picks. This is where I give you guys my NFL predictions. This is going to be for week 8. Last week for week 7, I told you guys that was going to be our redemption week. We almost went perfect. I believe the only game we got wrong was the Panthers and Chicago Bears game. Now, I picked the Panthers. The Bears played pretty good last week. Like, the defense played insane, but what really shocked me was just how bad the Panthers played. Yo, they had, I believe, like 36 minutes of possession, and he can only score 3 points. Like, really, man? Like, that was pretty insane. And then, of course, we already had our Thursday night game. That was a blowout. We had the Dolphins versus the Ravens. I was shocked out with that one because, yo, the Ravens, the last couple of weeks, they've been losing their games. They haven't been playing so well as a unit, as a team. And then the Dolphins, man, 2 weeks ago, they came back and won against the Ravens. And then last week, they won, they came back and won against the Jets. So I was like, yo, they might be moving that momentum, but that did not show anything in that game. Yo, Sue was like choking the quarter. It was crazy, man. But that being said, 2 teams had the bye last week, and that was the Lions and the Texans. Now we have a bunch of teams with the bye. 6 teams. We got the Cardinals, Giants, Titans, Rams, Packers, and the Jags. So yeah, guys, those are the teams with the bye. Let's move on to our first game. Now, guys, this is recorded before this game starts because I can see that it's starting at 9:30 a.m. So I'm guessing this was a UK game. I'm recording this on a Saturday. It's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. On Sunday, it's technically Saturday night if you want to count that, but or really Sunday morning, I should say. I'm making this video before this comes out. Most of the times, every Sunday game I make, the team that I pick gets absolutely destroyed. I picked the Ravens. They got destroyed in that game, and I forget the other couple games. But moving on to this one, this one's kind of easy. If I pick the wrong team here, this is crazy. Browns versus the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota won against the Ravens last week, and the Browns, they went ahead and lost, of course, as usual. They're 0-7. They lost against the Titans, but that one came down to the wire. It came down to what's it called? It came down to overtime. But yeah, I still give that one to the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said, I'm making this before this comes out. I'm just posting it after at 11 o'clock before the 1 o'clock games. But moving on to the next one, we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jets. Now the Jets, they're playing better. They're playing a lot better than what we expected to see from the Jets this season. The Falcons just came off a big L against my Patriots, and the week before that, like I said, they lost 2 weeks ago against the Dolphins on a comeback. But I don't see them losing 3 weeks in a row. I feel like they find themselves again with this team, but the Jets, they're going to be a shocker. They're going to put up 100 points, but I don't think they have enough points to win this game. I still give Atlanta this one on top. Moving on to our next one, we have the Colts versus the Bengals. Now, I believe the Colts were one of the teams that gave up a shutout. I forget who they played. They played against the Jags. You'll get shut out by the Jags, 27-0. And then the Bengals, they did lose 14, I think, like 27 against the Steelers or something like that, or 29 to Steelers. I'm going to leave this one to the Bengals. This one's not that hard. They're playing at home as well. Moving on to our next game. This one's actually going to be a very good game. The Chargers have a lot of momentum. They haven't lost since they got their first win in week 5, I think, or something like that. I think it was week 5. They haven't lost yet. The last week they gave, yeah, that was another team that got a good shutout. They gave the Broncos a shutout. They scored 21 points on that defense and held the Broncos to 0 points. But the Pats looked awesome last week, man. And I know this is my bias coming in, and I pick us every week. But we're playing at home. But we played awesome. I said last week, guys, that, yo, the defense is really going to come alive and show themselves. And they played amazing against the Falcons. Like, yo, the 2 weeks ago, they gave 300 yards up to the Jets, but then they held Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, I think, under like 200 and something. So that was impressive on itself. We only let up 7 points. It could have been a shutout alone as well, but Julio Jones just like, oh, he was being that was a rude play, man. But yeah, I give that one to the Pats. I think the momentum with the Chargers are with them, but man, the Pats, man, Tom Brady offense, defense is looking better, not looking great. It's not looking insane or anything. It's just looking better than what it has been, and I think that can hold us off and win this game. Now, moving on to the next one. This is another good game. The Bears, they did play amazing defense against the Panthers last week, but Panthers offense is not that great, and then you're going against a team like New Orleans. And New Orleans, man, the past couple of weeks, I think they're on like a 3-game winning streak, and yo, they won against last week against Green Bay, and you can't, that offense is amazing as well, and the defense is starting to play a lot better, and they're on that momentum. I'm going to give this one to the Saints. They usually don't play that as good as they do on the road as at home, but I still see them winning this one at home, with the Saints taking that one against the Bears. Now moving on to our next one. This is another big game. I'm saying all these games are big, man. What am I saying? This is another good game. Buffalo versus Oakland. Now Buffalo, like I said, is that team that is always like, yo, you think they're gonna lose against a really good team and then they end up winning, but when they play like a bad team, they end up losing. So they already beat this season the Broncos when they're on that tear, and of course the Falcons as well. And then afterwards they lost against the Bengals, and you're like, yo, what happened? But last week they did win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Oakland had that crazy thriller on the Thursday night game against who was it again? They had a Thursday night thriller with KC. They won against KC, and that was insane, man. They had no more time on the clock, but they had the extra play because all those penalties. But end of the day, I know the Bills are playing at home. I'm giving this one to the Raiders. I know Marshawn Lynch is what's it called, suspended for a game, but I just saw that they traded Marcel Darius for like picks, so they lost a good defensive tackle right there. But I don't even know if he's been playing that much this season. But I still feel like Oakland takes this one. Moving on to the next one. This one's easy, yo, man. That Monday night game, Redskins versus the Eagles, man. How did Carson Wentz break out of that tackle? He had like 3 Redskin defenders on him. He somehow like ducked down and then still managed to get the first yard and then like an extra 12 as well. So first down and an extra couple yards as well. So that was insane. 49ers, they lost last week. I don't remember how many points they gave up. They lost pretty bad. Zeke was eating, man. Zeke was eating that game. It was 40-10. But yeah, I give this one to the Philadelphia Eagles playing at home. They're a team to beat this year, man. They're playing fantastic. Moving on to our next game, Panthers versus the Bucks. Bucks lost against the Bills. And then, of course, the Panthers lost against the Bears. I'm going to give this one to Tampa, man. I'm giving this one to Tampa. The offense just looks terrible on Carolina. I know Luke Kuechly is cleared for the concussion protocol, but I'm still giving this one to Tampa Bay. Moving on to our next game, we got Seattle versus Houston. Now, Seattle won against the Giants last week, and that was a close game. Like, yo, the Seattle offense could not play at all in the first half in any games. They somehow wake up in the second half, and then they actually end up winning. But that being said, the Giants didn't have that offense to put themselves up that many points so they could like get a little head start. And Houston, they've been on a roll and they had to bye last week. So I'm actually going to give this one to Houston. Yes, I know I might sound crazy. I know they're playing at home with the 12th man, but still, man, Seattle, they just have not wowed me this game. And Deshaun Watson is playing amazing, out of his mind for a rookie. So moving on to our next game, we got Dallas Cowboys versus the Redskins. Redskins did lose against Philly, and of course Dallas, it's like the opposite right here. Look at that, right on top of each other. But I'm giving this one to Dallas. The way that Zeke played, I know it was against the 49ers, but yo, that team was just like having so much fun, man. And the Redskins, they look good. When I was watching I watched about up until the third quarter, I think, and they had like that one really good drive, and then afterwards they didn't know what they couldn't get the first down after that. They had that one play where they had the touchdown, and then after the third quarter, like I think they got a couple more touchdowns, but I didn't see that. But they did not play well that game. So I'm going to give this one to Dallas. Next, move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Detroit Lions. Pittsburgh did win against the Bengals last week. Juju had that amazing touchdown celebration with the hide and seek with Le'Veon Bell. Detroit Lions, they did come off a bye, and I believe like 2 weeks ago, they did lose. Let me just make sure that 3 weeks ago they lost against the Panthers, and then last week they lost against the Saints. So this one is tough, man. They're coming off the bye. Matt Stafford has been like, limping around a bunch in those last couple games. I don't know if that week bye really helped him out. This one, they're giving the point spread to Pittsburgh, but I'll give this one to the Lions, man. I think the Lions are a really good team this year. They just lost the last couple of games, I guess, but I think that 1 week of rest really helps them out a lot. Moving on to our last game, Monday night game, we got KC versus the Broncos. Broncos, man, they lost. They've been playing like booty cheeks the last 2 weeks, man. The last 2 weeks they've been playing like really bad. The one game that I thought they were gonna have an easy W against the Giants, they ended up losing at home that was 2 weeks ago, and then last week they gave up a shutout against the Chargers. So that is terrible. And then KC, they've been losing the last 2 games as well. They were undefeated up until week 5, and then after that they just lost the last 2 games against the Steelers and the Raiders as well. So yeah, that being said, I'm giving this one to the KC though, even though they did lose the last 2 games. It's just that Denver just does not look good, man. They haven't put up points on the board. At least KC did, lost by 1 point. They put up 30 points at least. So yeah, those are my picks, guys. Tell me in the comment section below, what do you guys think about the picks? If you guys agree with me, go ahead and give a like on this video. If you guys don't agree with me, go ahead and drop in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you guys think. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys have an awesome football Sunday. Always stay hyped, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.
What's up?